I would like to be able on about discrimination. First and foremost, in my district of residence, we have been hearing information that there are no people who are
mic check 1 2.
But
Mic check 1 2.
concern,
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
it's only
Mic check 1 2.
a girl child who has been left behind in terms of education. But mainly part of
Mic check 1 2.
But
Mic
when
check
it
1
comes
2.
to now,
Okay.
job, about jobbing,
Yes.
you know, in
Yes.
my district, there is still what you call discrimination. And then, when they advertise for any job, maybe 2 people apply, and the majority of our neighbors also apply. But none of them will be shortlisted and considered, yet they all have the same equal papers. So we still have a lot of discrimination in my home.
Are you able to move back one just a little?
To take this concern, to intervene into this matter, we still really have a lot to do. We shall still say that there are not people who are educated, but people are educated. But there is a lot of discrimination in it. Then the other one is about child education. Allow me to say something about this. We have been having a lot of challenges in educating a girl child. You know, a girl child is something very sensitive. When a child stays and grows, even if she has reached some certain level of education,
Just a little bit.
So,
In front a little.
it's really something alarming if the two sub-counties of it.
Okay, that's fine.
Timu and Morwell, whereby you get only 2 community schools which hands to people. And most of these schools, girls have been
So
embracing
new starts
education.
at 1.
And when they reach around people,
Now
you see a girl
57.
child dropping.
So class
You only get the other boy child going through because of just that whatever that kind of courage, but girl child will never continue.
Just so you know,
state
the
schools.
are from Cabo.
In recent years, we have been also having
From Moroto.
concerns
From Moroto.
in my district. The government could even bring the slots for the school to be collected. But you find us also submitting the information of our schools. But none of this information is considered. They leave that information behind and they got theirs. So we really need to work together as the team from equal opportunity, so that to make sure these communities are brought to the same level with the rest of the community. So I beg to end there. May God bless you. Thank you. So the other one, you look at our I'm P5, I'm P6, I'm P7. You know, so much is to the other is to the other one, I think what they book me today. I don't have a someone waiting to have a thousand among 9. I don't know.
So I'll ask you about the gaps.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. I think I'm the last person to communicate on that. Yeah. So I'm Jacob Lochu. I'm from Iki community. I would like actually to just summarize some few things. Most actually, this will be cross-cutting. Because it will be also affecting my people. My brothers actually have talked more about education in the Iki community, which is actually one of the sector that is affected in Iki. Very much the president
Stay in character.
That in every
We're about to go stay in character.
Sub-county, there should be a primary school, there should be a secondary school as well. So which means in every sub-county, there should be a secondary school. But you find that all the things are not being implemented, more so in IK, whereby you only find one secondary school serving 3 sub-counties. With the 2 government coded schools, that is Canyon Primary School, located in Canyon Sub-County, and Lokwa Karamoy Primary School, located in Muruane Sub-County. So you find that all those schools have distance. So how will the child access those services when they are not taken closer to them? So it is really something.
Well, Tracy, and in our background is those minority communities, their leaders being brought together here in Moroto. We're talking the Tepeth of Moroto, but also those ones in Kabong, that's called the Ik community, who are usually marginalized. But to discuss this more, let's talk to the Principal Information Officer and Communication for Equal Opportunities Commission, Yusuf. Where are the gaps to begin with?
All right, so basically today we've had a dialogue with leaders from the IK community and the TPF community. We are discussing gaps in education, gaps in health, gaps in basically social services. So we've been told a lot by the community leaders. We've been told that the distances from the communities to schools is so long. We've also been told that the distances from the communities to health centers are long. We've been told that, well, as they should be sending girl children to school to go and study, but they are also getting impregnated in schools by the boys they study with. So we have gotten a lot of information from these communities on the challenges they are having in access to services, but also the challenges they get when they go to access those services.
Yes, I've been listening to some of those challenges that they were discussing. But as Equal Opportunities Commission, where do you come in?
The Equal Opportunities Commission has a mandate to ensure that there is inclusion in all government programs, so including social services that are offered by government. So here we come in, one, to train these leaders on how they can advocate for these social services, but also have a discussion on how they can leverage the available services to ensure their communities benefit. We've discussed PDM, we've discussed UWEP, we've discussed GROW, we have discussed quite a number of government programs and how these leaders can leverage these government programs to ensure their communities come out of poverty and to also ensure that children go to school and also access health services.
Well, Tracy, that's it, but Karamoja is still left behind. Some of these marginalized communities have been speaking that they have to walk over 20 kilometers to have access to education. For instance, in the E community, they even said that they only have one secondary school in the whole county. They also have only 2 primary schools. So these are some of the huge gaps in education, but also other services. Back to you.
You try to bring issues of roads, but of course you are being stepped down. That's what's called discrimination. Exactly. So the road that goes up to the mountains, it is some
representation of women. And we are done.
So he said that for urban areas, they're going to give 300 million per ward.
First, give me that. My phone is breaking it. $200 million for urban
Wards. For wards and 100 million for parishes. That's what I was
Hey, Ronnie. Sorry, yes, my phone has been breaking your calls because of network issue, but I'm set. At the small phone, and now I was speaking the call and it just showed network fail. Okay. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 sound check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Tracy, okay. We're coming in. Look at the camera. Thank you very much, Tracy. I think let's start with the fact that in the build-up to the presidential State of the Nation address, this region, West Nile, held its breath in anticipation what exactly was going to be said. And among the major issues that actually we discussed yesterday as we prepared for the SONA, where this fact that the whole of West Nile believes that they need a regional status. And I think everything else has been woven around that. And that is why I'm joined this afternoon by the person who speaks to the local governments here in West Nile. That is none other than the Executive Director of the West Nile Development Association, Moses Akuma Odems, to try to break it down for us how the region has welcomed or has actually reacted to the presidential State of the Nation address. Welcome to NBS.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that we were very pleased by the fact that the head of state spoke about strategic issues that are of importance to the whole nation. However, we felt as a region that the head of state did not cast light, especially on regions that are lagging behind in development like West Nile and Karamoja, in strategic areas, for example, like he talked about commercialization of agriculture, and our region is basically lagging behind. In terms of commercialization of agriculture, he talked about asset base, for example, like livestock and people investing in dairy and what have you, and this region is emerging from basically wars that were fought from 1979, and people lost a lot of animals, people lost a lot of property, and all this compensation has not been done. And we feel this is one of the drivers of the poverty levels in the region, that people don't have asset base at a household level that they can invest in. And of course, we also expected the head of state to talk about capitalization of circles in the region so that people can have access to finance that they can use to invest in strategic enterprises, for example, like cocoa growing, like coffee growing, and of course, even in fisheries. And so we have our economic livelihood around cross-border trade, and we expected the head of state specifically to address issues of infrastructure development, roads, and strategic connection bridges. For example, in West Nile, we have the Pakwati Bridge, and we also appeal to government to take on the Laropi Bridge, which will be an alternative route, and we also expected government to provide for ferries that connect, for example, Madiokolo to part of Noya, and all these are alternative routes through which the region could be accessible, but above all, also people could move goods and goods and services for the improvement of the region.
Okay. Now, this is the final question that I have for you. When I spoke to the women population here in West Nile, there was, I believe that they needed more of these government programs like PDM, WEP, that could actually give them a chance to make more money. And the president spoke extensively on the role of PDM in poverty alleviation. Are women winners here?
Yeah, I think the head of state especially talked about capitalization through PDM, particularly the 100 million shillings to the parishes and the 300 million shillings to the wards in the urban areas. And I think in this sense, women really stand to benefit a lot from this, but we would have loved for the head of state to talk more about increasing capitalization through circles where women are the majority, so that women can use these resources really to invest and, of course, also support their livelihoods. And, of course, as a region, we would have loved to hear the head of state talk about our demand. We have been demanding, presenting our concerns to the head of state about the need for regional status and the need for affirmative action for example, for the region to have a regional development plan that appreciates the potentials of the region, that appreciates the opportunities, and that also appreciates the challenges of the region uniquely, that will help us to implement the tenfold NDP4. And I think these are some of the things that we expected the head of state to have addressed for us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That is Moses Akuma Odems, Executive Director of WENDA, and that is a West Nile Development Association, and that looks at the local governments here across West Nile. And of course, as you asked earlier on, disappointment, yes, a little bit outweighing the happiness in West Nile, and that I think is well explained by what he has said. Back to you, Tracy, at the Political Command Center. Thank you, thank you. You call me Joel. Joel is also my name. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. For my tech. For the award for my award for Sana.
So this has been live.
Live. We can rewatch from here.